Former Eddie Jones has launched a robust defense of Scott Robertson, insisting that New Zealand Rugby acted too hastily in dismissing the All Blacks head coach and may have bowed to mounting internal and external pressure that Robertson's departure, confirmed midway through his 4-year contract, sent shockwaves through the rugby world. Widely regarded as one of the brightest coaching minds of his generation, the 51-year-old was relieved of his duties despite holding a 74% win rate in charge of the All Blacks. The governing body is expected to announce a successor shortly, but the timing and rationale behind the decision continue to generate debate. Jones, who has experienced the volatility of elite coaching himself, believes the move reflects a broader trend across professional sport. Impatience, not a familiar story for Jones, the former Wallabies and England boss, knows the sting of a sudden dismissal all too well. Jones was sacked by England just months before the 2023 Rugby World Cup, a decision that stunned many given his track record at test level. Drawing parallels with Robertson's situation, he suggested that modern coaching has become increasingly vulnerable to forces beyond the scoreboard. "I think there are some other forces at play now," Jones said in an interview with ESPN alongside Martin Devlin. As we all know, social media is a massive driver of influencing what happens now, and I think that's a factor. In the age of instant reaction and relentless online commentary, public opinion can escalate rapidly. Jones argued that administrators are not immune to the pressure generated by digital platforms, where criticism spreads quickly and often loudly. Boards don't like to be criticized. People at the top don't like to be criticized, he explained. When there's a fair bit of unrest on social media, that can cause a little bit more urgent movement. The implication is clear. Decision-makers may be reacting not only to results on the field, but also to the volume of dissatisfaction echoing across online spaces. Commercial pressures and the All Blacks brand Jones also raise the possibility that commercial considerations have begun to influence rugby decisions more heavily than in the past. Even in a country where the All Blacks have long stood as a symbol of sporting excellence and national identity. He pointed to the example of Manchester United, suggesting that the football giants' recent struggles illustrate how commercial imperatives can subtly shift priorities away from pure performance. "We've seen that at Manchester United," Jones said. "For a great team that had such massive stability, commercial issues ended up driving the team more than performance issues. It's a subtle change in nuances, but it can affect things, and it can affect the way people think." While rugby union in New Zealand operates in a different landscape to English Premier League football, the All Blacks are undeniably a global brand. Sponsorships, broadcast deals, and international marketability now form a significant part of the equation. Jones questioned whether those commercial realities may have played a part in the decision to part ways with Robertson. The All Blacks are not just a team. They're a product, a symbol, and a business entity. When performance dips or public confidence wavers, the ripple effects extend beyond the rugby field. The rise of the Warriors, another factor Jones identified, is the growing popularity of rugby league in New Zealand, particularly the resurgence of the New Zealand Warriors. Traditionally, rugby union has dominated the sporting landscape in the country, with the All Blacks occupying an almost sacred place in national culture. But the Warriors' rise has introduced genuine competition. The other factor in New Zealand, and this is a factor that the coach doesn't control, is the rise of the Warriors, Jones said. It's undoubtedly taking some of the gloss away from the All Blacks in New Zealand. In recent seasons, the Warriors have captured the imagination of fans, drawing strong television audiences and reinvigorating rugby league's presence. For younger athletes, the pathway to professional sport is no longer limited to union. If you're a young kid growing up, previously, if you were good at running the ball, you want to play rugby for the All Blacks, Jones noted. Now, it's a serious threat to play for the Warriors. It's popular. It's on television all the time. People want to watch it. So, for a young kid, it's a proper option for them. This shift, Jones suggests, represents a structural challenge rather than a coaching issue. If talent pools begin to fragment or fan engagement becomes divided, the pressure on union administrators increases. In such an environment, results can feel more urgent and setbacks less tolerable. Reports of cultural concerns despite Robertson's impressive win percentage. Reports emerged suggesting unease within the All Blacks camp regarding aspects of his man management style and the team culture under his leadership. While such concerns remain largely speculative, they may have contributed to the decision-making process. However, Jones cautioned against overlooking the broader context. If you look at all those factors, there are a lot of things eating away, he said. You need to look at the totality of the hit. Where are we now? What do we need to do? Certainly, the coach is an important part of it. He acknowledged that leadership at test level carries immense responsibility. The All Black standards are uniquely high. Anything short of sustained dominance invites scrutiny. Yet Jones insisted that Robertson's pedigree warranted greater patience, that a record few can match before stepping into the All Blacks role. Robertson built a remarkable legacy with the Crusaders in Super Rugby. Over 7 seasons, he guided the franchise to 7 Super Rugby titles, an extraordinary achievement in a competition known for its intensity and unpredictability. But sacking a coach who's won 7 Super Rugby titles, you can't do better than that, Jones said. No one can even dream of doing that. He's got the runs on the board. Robertson's Crusaders tenure was marked by a tactical innovation, strong player development, and a winning culture. His teams combined physical dominance with attacking flair, often peaking at the crucial stages of tournaments. That sustained success elevated him to near legendary status within New Zealand rugby circles. It's not like he's coming into the team with a questionable record, Jones added. He's a winning coach. The transition from franchise to international rugby is never seamless. Test rugby demands different rhythms, longer-term planning, and the management of players drawn from multiple professional environments. Yet many believed Robertson's proven leadership would translate effectively at the highest level. The modern coaching landscape, Jones' broader argument speaks to the precarious nature of coaching in contemporary sport. Contracts offer limited security, results are judged instantly, and narratives can turn within weeks. The 74% win rate Robertson achieved with the All Blacks would be considered exceptional in many contexts. For New Zealand, where historical benchmarks are extraordinarily high, even strong records can feel insufficient. Jones implied that governing bodies must resist the temptation to seek quick fixes. Give him a little bit more time to put his influence on the team, he urged. Building a cohesive test side often requires cycles of development. Introducing new systems, blooding young players, and reshaping culture are processes that unfold over seasons, not months. Abrupt changes risk disrupting continuity and undermining long-term strategy. Player power and institutional stability. Jones has also previously spoken about the growing influence of senior players in professional sport. While he did not elaborate extensively in this particular interview, the theme of shifting power dynamics hovers over modern rugby. As athletes become more visible and commercially valuable, their voices carry increasing weight. Combined with social media scrutiny and commercial imperatives, the environment surrounding elite teams has become more complex than ever. For New Zealand Rugby, the decision to dismiss Robertson may reflect a desire to stabilize the situation quickly. Yet Jones warned that reacting to pressure can create a cycle of instability. What comes next? With a new head coach set to be unveiled, attention will soon turn to the future. The All Blacks remain one of the most formidable teams in world rugby, boasting a deep talent pool and a proud heritage. The incoming coach will inherit both opportunity and expectation. For Robertson, the dismissal marks a setback but not an end. His track record with the Crusaders ensures he remains one of the most respected figures in the global game. Opportunities, whether at international or elite club level, are likely to arise.